All right, welcome to the Two Men with Mike's podcast. I am your host, Bobby Joe.
And I am CJ. I don't feel much like CJ. I mean, I can't get an enthusiasm going right now for whatever reason.
No, that's okay. We're going to get hyped. You know why? Because this week one of the NFL season is in the books.
True.
So, yeah. So, I don't know about you. Got a lot to talk about. I was watching games all weekend. But first of all, let me ask you, how was your weekend?
It was good. Just football all weekend. That's all I can say, really. Just football.
Just
college,
football?
Yeah, college on Saturday and then Sunday, NFL and, of course, Monday night football.
Yeah.
So football is back in the air.
Yeah, I was excited. I was hyped. Even like the Thursday night game. And, I don't know about you, but I play fantasy football. So I had Gronk and Antonio Brown on the bench. And I still won. I was so pissed off.
Why would you be mad if he still won?
No, but because I could have won by more. I wanna take my opponent's will to live when I play fantasy football.
No mercy, huh? No mercy.
I want it to be like, here's Bobby Joe. So the name of my fantasy team is I Wish a Motherfucker Would, and I need to beat you accordingly. The ass whippers need to match the name of my fantasy team. So yeah, and speaking of that game Thursday night. Everybody, there are Dallas haters out there. Mm-hmm. I just pile on because it's fun. But Dallas actually played well in that game. What would you think about that game? I really do. I think they did.
I mean, honestly, I thought they were gonna get blown out by. I was getting ready to say the Patriots. I'm so used to Brady, the Patriots. Right. But I thought they were gonna get blown out by Tampa. And mm-hmm. I think Tampa has a pretty good defense. They have a really good defense. But it I guess kind of it came out. It was more of a I don't want to say a shootout, but Dallas did match Tampa. Pretty much for a while there, and they mm-hmm. actually look good. And I hate to say that because I just love hating Dallas, but you got to give them their props. You always got to give them their props when anybody's doing good, and they did great. Dak Prescott even looked great. He looked pretty.
He did. He looked really good, and they were hanging with him, and I was like, okay. And again, I know people want to pile on, but I mean, I thought they were going to win that for a minute. I thought they were going to win the game and actually beat Tampa. I mean, Tampa looks good. I still don't have them in my Super Bowl prediction, which I'll give you at the end. But Dallas played well. I don't think there'll be any problems. I got to go back and look who their next opponent is, but
I would say it's on Dak though. I mean, like I said, he as good as he played. He played mm-hmm. really good. He had the second most passing yards
mm-hmm.
for week one.
430.
I think it was 403 passing yards.
Okay,
for the week. Anybody, which was crazy because guess who had the third most?
Who's that?
Tom Brady.
Okay.
So he outthrew him as far as yards go, as passing yards go.
Right.
So that's like I said. I mean, he did his thing, man. He just one touchdown shy of Brady. As far as Brady threw 4 touchdowns, he threw 3.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, he still had more passing yards. So they look, like I said, they look great, man. I gotta give them the props.
Right. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask you about Green Bay in that game. I know. And before you answer, I kind of, I wanted to talk about Aaron Rodgers during the post game, the press conference, because the coach said they were embarrassed, and Aaron kind of said, "Well, yeah, that's the word he wants to use, but it's just one game." A lot of people are like Stephen A. Smith are saying that he kind of looked like he was uninterested out there, like he really wasn't giving, like he kind of checked out and was like, whatever.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go on record and say I think he did check out. I think he, to be honest, it's like he didn't even give a damn. I'm like he just like whatever. This is my last. This could be my last year.
Right.
There's some stuff floating around that he was doing bad on purpose, so he could get traded from Green Bay. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if he just had a very, very bad, because it happens. He had a bad game. Like you can go to those stats again. 133 yards, passing yards. That is unheard of for Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
He averaged 4 yards per attempt. Sacked twice, which isn't too bad if people he gets sacked twice, but that happens. You can still win a game. It's not like you're gonna lose a game off of 2 sacks. If you go down through the league, even some of the other teams that won, their quarterback was either sacked or a sack for losses, and they still won. So I don't look too much on that. It's just the passing yards he had is 133 passing yards, and of course those 2 interceptions. They were what's the word? I don't know the word. I was actually gonna make up a word. They were mildly mistakes. So
right.
Those mistakes were bad, So and I really do think, like you said, he did check out. I think he checked out before the game was even started almost. I think he came out like at the first set of downs, and then from that point it wasn't him. But another thing I will say is, I'm not so much as far as that they say you need to play the preseason games. They kind of blame that, and you can kind of see it sometimes because number one, he's not in key with his players on the field, those starting positions. They're not in the rhythm because they're not playing together. They didn't play in-game scenarios because he never played preseason.
Right.
He sat around and I hate to say he pouted and did whatever he had to do, but he never was able to catch a rhythm, and I think that just comes from rust and not playing. The whole offseason you didn't play. I don't even, to be honest, and I always make a joke, but I blame his girlfriend because the girlfriend he has now has him doing all these crazy things over off seasons, hiking and going through the jungles and all this dumb stuff, and he's not practicing on his craft. So, and then you get there, then you don't have and then you don't play during the preseason to get in sync with the other players. So what else are you gonna do? It's almost like you're just out there freestyling yourself, So I think he hurt himself.
Right. That was the worst I've ever seen him play.
Yeah.
Like in like forever. And I was watching the game and it's like, what the hell is what's really going on? And I don't want to say it did look like he checked out, but it was so crazy. Like, are the Saints really playing that well, or is he just like, I don't give a fuck? And I don't know. And then speaking of the Saints, man, Jameis Winston, 5 TDs. I made a joke on Facebook talking about, people saying Drew Brees will be missed, and Jameis Winston talking about shit. Watch this. 5 touchdowns. He had less than 200 yards passing and threw 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if you look at 148 passing yards, but he had 5 touchdowns.
5 touchdowns. Now,
not a lot of passing yards.
Is he going to play great like that every week? No, because I still think they made the right decision. He's to me he's a better fit than Taysom Hill at QB. To me, Taysom Hill is not really a quarterback. He's like an athlete who can do a lot of things, who wants to be a quarterback. But Jameis is a quarterback. So I'm just afraid that old Jameis will come out, but he is in that Sean Payton offense now, and they're going to put him in the best position to succeed. But, I think sometimes he's got that gunslinger mentality, and I'm afraid. I don't want that old. Every time I watch from the whole season, I'm going to be like, I don't want him to throw 30 interceptions. It's like I'm rooting for him,
Yeah.
So I don't. Oh man.
I made jokes about, and I think everybody made jokes about him during the offseason. He was doing the hip thrusters.
He
was practicing his hip thrusters.
When the dude was hitting him.
And with the bag, and I think he was calling numbers. I don't know what the heck the number thing was about calling numbers, but he was practicing his hip thrusters. Yeah. People joked about that, but I even made jokes and laughed about it. But
Dak does that too. But
after watching him during the game, those hip thrusters actually worked. His whole mechanic, his hip thrust into the throw, are a lot better, and you can see the way he practiced those hip thrusters. he threw the ball the exact same way as if he practiced it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, whoa. I mean, hey man, he's a lot better quarterback. I mean, as far as mechanic wise go, even a better spin on the ball too as well.
Right.
I give him that. He another thing you say, I'm a Saints hater, but gotta get that quarterback his props, man. He did it out there. I'm a Saints hater to the end, but I will say I've always liked Alvin Kamara or whatever. I've always liked that guy I don't know for whatever reason.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, man, I'm boo that. Just hate the Saints. But he did his thing, man. I gotta give him his props on that.
I don't really hate the Saints, but I do it a lot because I mess with them because when I lived in Mississippi, it was like, this is Saints country. Everybody, I wanted to be the bad guy. You gotta, in every story, you have to have an antagonist. And I wanted to be that person because, and then of course they get on to me about the Super Bowl with the Falcons, the epic collapse in 28-3 up at halftime, and then they end up losing. But I'm rooting for Jameis. I can see them making the playoffs. I don't know how that far they'll go, but it remains to be seen. But yeah,
I think they're a solid team. I think they are a solid team. I think they can what they have because they still have a nice core. I think to be honest, the only thing you're missing, like I said, is it's not Drew Brees, it's just Jameis Winston. But you're still the same offense. You're still a lot of those core players, the key players are still there. And if Jameis Winston plays the way he plays, even a little bit less than what he did this last Sunday, because I think everybody's sitting back waiting to think that was a fluke. Right. So if he sits, even if he comes off of that high, he's up so high right now that coming down, he could be an average quarterback, and I think the Saints can go pretty deep with an average quarterback because they're well balanced. Right. They still got a monster two running back, Kamara and what's his name? They still got those monster running backs, which it always keep the defense honest when it comes, when your blitz packages come and those things. And then of course, Mr. Winston, I call him Mr. now since he did so good.
Yeah.
But he, with him slinging it with those hip thrusters, they're going to open the field up. So I really could see them at least 2 rounds inside the playoffs. I really can.
Okay. I'll give you that. So sticking in the NFC South, those damn Atlanta Falcons.
They suck.
They do. I mean, I was always joking with my brother. I'm like, scoot over. I'm gonna come over and be a 49ers fan. I posted on Facebook probably early in the game when Jalen Hurts threw that first TD. I said, if these MFs lose to the Eagles, you lose, and I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. This is like what, his first season as the full starter?
Yes.
And you're the Falcons and you're playing at home. And you tell me you manage to score only 6 points. 6 points. And you got this new this tight end, and you got Matt Ryan, and this is, you got all these offensive weapons. 6 points. I'm sorry, if they don't make the playoffs this year, and this is me personally, I don't know. I got to go back and look. Did he sign an extension? I would draft a quarterback. And
it was.
I'd blow it all up. Go ahead.
No. I was like, I really think they should have signed a quarterback.
Yeah.
I can't off the top of my head think of that the backup quarterback there.
Well, McCarron but I think he hurt himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's somebody. There was another guy.
What's the guy? I know it. Oh gosh, I have his name. Franks. I think he played at Florida. The real tall guy that's got some wheels. About 6'7", and can run like a 4.3.
Yeah.
They've got him.
Sometimes you want to get in the what's it called? Try them out, as they say, I guess.
Well, then they were talking about then that whole thing when Cam got released, and they were talking about possible destinations for Cam. One of them being Atlanta. I know he's from Atlanta, and I don't see that happening. But
yeah.
They have too many weapons, and they are entirely too good. You scored 6 points at home. Man, I'm not surprised. I was a little disappointed, not surprised. I said, I should have known the Falcons were going to Falcon, because that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. And I'm just over it. I'm gonna watch. I'll root for him, and we'll see what happens. But
first game out the gate, you looking at that team with a 76.6 rating.
Yeah, I don't even see him getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't either. But like as Aaron say, it could only be one game.
Yeah.
So
it's only one game. But
only one game.
I don't see him. I don't see him coming out of. I don't see him come. Do I see him finishing last in NFC South?
Nah.
Well, who you think? Carolina?
Yeah, probably
Carolina.
Yeah.
Okay, Carolina, and then the Falcons will be finishing third.
I was about to say they're gonna be right there. I'm just saying that they're gonna be right there. I mean, you can't. I'm gonna be honest. Matt Ryan, just like
he's 36 years old.
Just like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
they're both getting old.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when with Father Time obviously is undefeated, but what happens is you're a great quarterback, and Matt Ryan is a really good quarterback.
Right
in his heyday. So when you're like that, you might have one bad game, 2 bad games, and then all of a sudden you explode for the next 3 or 4 games. You might explode and have great games, and then your Father Time catches up with you again, and then you go back down to those terrible games again. When you're getting that old, you kind of roller coaster with your abilities to do things until eventually you just fall off. So I can. That's why I wouldn't take a lot away from Matt Ryan right now, even though I would like to. But I think he might have 1 or 2 things, a couple of games still left in his tank to even have a great game or a pretty good game. Just might just bust out of the box come next weekend or whoever they're playing against. So but this should be his last season though.
Yeah, I mean this 36 after this. I'm like, come on, you got that tight end, you got Ridley. We'll see. But I want to ask you too, and did you see the game, the Sunday night game, with the Ravens and the Raiders?
When the Ravens lost twice in one game, yes, I did.
Wasn't that crazy?
Yeah, they lost twice in one game. Great game. I to be honest, I was getting ready when Baltimore scored right before they went into overtime. I'm like, oh, game's over.
Yeah.
And I was getting ready to turn it off. I was really getting ready to turn it on another show, like a girl show. I can't tell you what it was, but I watch girl shows on Sunday night.
Hey, I watch them sometimes too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was getting ready to watch that, and I recorded it actually, but I got ready to watch that, and then I held the remote, something like "Don't change the channel."
Right.
And sure enough, I'm glad I didn't, because I would have never, and when they went into overtime, I'm like, whoa, this is, it was already a good game already.
Right.
So, but when they went to overtime, I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Yep.
And then, of course, they turn around and the Raiders turn around and thought they won the game with the touchdown in their first possession. And at first, I thought they did win too, and then when they did slow-mo, I was like, "Oh no, his knees are down, and he was short."
Right.
Which I still don't. Well, other than the penalty, which it came from a rookie, the rookie, I think it was the right tackle, offensive tackle. I think he's a rookie, but you make rookie mistakes, costly mistake, because that pushed them back off the line. I think they were at the half-yard line, and then they got pushed back 5 yards. And they never could they never could punch it in or get it in.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the whole trying to sneak Derek Carr in on that first play, I just thought was just silly. He's never done that. He never really do that.
Yeah.
This guy, and then you're going to try to sneak that play in out of all. I mean, you had an I formation back there. It's guaranteed to go in every time. At least get your yard. So I just thought that was a little crazy, to be honest. So technically, that probably been they could have won 3 times in one game.
But I just remember the game. I was just like, are you serious right now? And then that last play where the Ravens think it's going to be a run, and the receiver just, I was at a post he ran or whatever, and Carr just lays it out there, and I'm just like,
he just floated right up the middle. To be honest,
I'm just like, really that's probably one of the best games I've seen. I do think Gruden, man, if the Raiders don't make the playoffs or if they don't go deep enough, I don't know. I think he's had enough of Carr. I really do.
Well, I think he had enough of Carr because right now he's on that chopping block himself. So he needed to do something differently to win because and then of course they have a lot of high expectations for Gruden as well. He's been there 8 years? Is it 8? No, it's not 8.
Sure I don't think it's been that long.
It's not 8, but he's been there quite a few years. Well, 3 or 4. I can't remember. I don't even know why I'm saying 8. But they expect a little bit more out of Gruden.
Right.
And as a coach, and I think he'll probably start emptying that backfield as far as the quarterback goes.
Right.
They have another great, they have a pretty good defense as well. Their defense is pretty nice. But, it's so funny. The stat to me was they were, I think, almost last when it came to 3rd and 1.
Mm-hmm.
But first when it came 3rd and 10.
Right.
That's
right.
That ever to me. I'm like, wait. You can't get 1 yard, but you can get 10 on 3rd down?
Exactly. Yeah.
But
I don't know. We'll I have to keep an eye on them, the Ravens too. But you may not want to answer this question, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw mine out there. After week 1, do you have a Super Bowl prediction? Because I have one.
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay and who?
Nobody else. Nobody's gonna want to play them.
Nobody's gonna want to play them.
Yeah, I don't. Now I don't have a prediction, but Green Bay is my team. I just say Green Bay. But after week 1, I don't have much of a prediction. I can't even lie.
Well, I'm gonna give you mine real quick, and then we're gonna get on out of here. I'm going Rams Chiefs. I think Stafford is the missing piece.
You think?
If he can stay, I know he tends to get injured there during the season sometimes, but if he can stay healthy, I say the Rams. Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
That's kind of bold, but that's your prediction. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not there yet.
I know the Bucks are, Tom Brady and the Magic, and I don't know. I think the Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
Definitely not the Bucks. I don't think they're going to make it. Like you said, it was just a little bit magical. It's a good team, but it was just a little bit magical season.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of things that kind of fell into their lap as well last season for them to make the playoffs. So, which I think a lot of people do have the Bucks going back. I don't even see the Chiefs, to be honest. I just don't. I don't see them going either.
I don't know. I think they. I mean, to me, the only team that really they lost, but really the team that maybe could challenge them, the Bills.
Yeah, they're looking good.
But I still say the Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs Rams. I'm sticking with it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a different prediction you had from like a couple of weeks back, though. But
yeah. Well, look, I'll switch it up from time to time, but we will say one thing: only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Yes.
But yes, that is going to wrap it up for another edition of the 2 Men with Mike's podcast. We want to thank y'all for joining us, and please tell your friends. Please tell your lovers and friends that Usher, CJ, and Bobby had to do it again. Hey, yeah. So go.
I did it. Hey,
go and tell them and hit that subscribe button. We want y'all to come on and enjoy. If you got any questions, you can hit us up. 2menwithmics@gmail.com. And CJ, you want to drop that social media for them so they can hit you up?
I don't know what it is. I just think Snapchat CJ2U or CJ2U on Snapchat. That's all I know.
All right. Well, yeah. Hey, you heard it. And if you need to hit me up again, Bob or B Joseph Williams on Facebook, and then Bob Bibbiv on Instagram and Twitter. So hit us up if you got a question, a comment. You got a business, you want to be on the show, so we can spotlight that business. Tell us about it.
Let us spotlight you.
That's right, spotlight you. Tell the world about that business. Let us know, and we will see you next week. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and take care.
Later.